You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 Podcast. This is the podcast for the Chelsea versus Brentford. Chelsea versus Brentford. That just ended 2-1 in favor of Chelsea. So people are asking the question, are Chelsea in the Premier League title race or not? People are asking the question, is Enzo Maresca going to be the first manager to win the championship and then the Premier League back to back? People are asking all those questions. And then are they saying that with this leaky defense of Chelsea, is it enough to win the league? Because there's this adage that the defense wins you the league and then the attack wins you matches. So there's this conflict. But it looks like no matter how Chelsea fans also try to avoid the being the title race, they are just 2 points behind Liverpool. So if you want answers to all these things, don't go away. This is the reason for the podcast tonight. Let's enjoy ourselves. My name is Chris, as always. I'm the host of the Premier Top 4 Podcast. And then my guest here is Joey Boy, aka Owusu. That's how I call him. He's a Chelsea fan as well. So this is a double Chelsea fans podcast tonight. So it's just for our Chelsea, a certain Amarimbo, we'll talk about it a bit about 5 minutes before we end. It looks like they did us a favor. For the first time, United did us a favor. So we are going to talk about that as well. So don't go anywhere. Let's enjoy this podcast. So the lineup gave us some surprises as usual. This our coach always comes with surprises. Did you see that, Osu? Did you see the surprise that Enzo Maresca gave us tonight? Did you see it? You're on mute, Osu. You're on mute.
Hi. Yeah. So yeah, Enzo Maresca is proving to be unpredictable day in, day out. So this time around, like how we used to do it, we didn't expect to see Tosin in it, but some way, somehow, he was in it. He was part of the central defenders, and it proved to be a very vital input. So for that one, let's give him thumbs up. And it's not so surprising because you always have to find a balance. It might be surprising coming into this game, but you always want to try and find the right balance for your team. So in these kind of matches, you have to test your players in as much as you want to also keep your momentum going. Yeah, because you have to make everybody play and then rest players for the other upcoming matches as well.
Okay, so if you are a subscriber, you know that I love the tactical bit of the match. So one thing I saw was that Tosin started, but the tactical bit of it is that this coach always knows how to profile players. That's the difference between him and Pochettino. He profiled Tosin to know that this guy is not an aggressor. So he made him the last man in the three back, where he made Gusto the aggressor in the three back and pushed Kowo to the left side of the back three, which he has not done this season. The whole season, he has not done. This is the first time he's doing it. So he made sure that Tosin was the last man dictating the play from the back and also mopping up, and it was so helpful until Tosin made a mistake, but we'll talk about it later on. He was so good, and then he made sure that the left back, that's Cucurella, was the one that was inverted. It was so good. The tactics that this man came up with, it was so good. And he realized that, and the one thing that I don't know if also you are seeing it, that he's able to predict what the team is going to do. Because Brentford this season, because of this podcast, I watch a lot of matches. Brentford this season, they don't sit back. They don't. But he was able to somehow predict that these guys were going to sit back. And then he tripled down on them. He pushed Enzo forward. He pushed Palmer forward. And he pushed Cucurella forward. And told the guys that whip in all the crosses. Because in the first half alone, we had 21 crosses in the first half alone. And that's one of them gave us the goal. How do you see Enzo Maresca's status, Owusu?
Well, like I said early on, when you have a coach that seems to be unpredictable, it helps the team, and it makes coaches also fumble against you, even the best of coaches. We know Thomas Frank; they've been on our neck for like I think 2 or 3 straight seasons, bro. Stamford Bridge, these guys keep whipping us as if we are their babies. You get it. So if you have we have Enzo Maresca who should I say gambled? He didn't gamble. He knows his stuff. So he went with a good lineup, having Cucurella inverting because it's been a while we saw Cucurella inverting, and then like you said early on, Gusto doing that hard tackles because of Tosin's nature and physicality. So I think they were surprised. Brentford at a point were surprised because they were thinking that we're going to play the usual line breaking passes, passing through uh, our flanks into their post and all of that. But it wasn't like that. We sent in more crosses, and I think within 20 or so minutes, the commentator was trying to say that we've had about 10 crosses already. So it showed you that clearly the man had a plan, and some way somehow it worked. And I understand I understand this bit going forward in the second half where um Sancho took all the players and the keeper out, and instead of him to cut back for his players to shoot, he was trying to cross the ball for his players to head it in, and the defenders dealt with it. So we are so happy as Chelsea fans, and we thank the board so much for bringing this guy on board. We are very, very happy. Going forward, we know that he's going to give us a lot of surprise. As for the title, please let's put that on hold.
So according to Chelsea fans, what we are doing this season is that we are trying to avoid relegation
Yeah.
battle. So we are
Yes.
trying to avoid relegation.
Yeah.
When with this match, thankfully, we can avoid relegation this season because our board clearly does not have any clue what they are doing.
No, no,
They
no,
don't know
no,
what
no,
they
no,
are
no.
doing. They went for a championship manager, and you have 45 players, and they don't know what they are doing at all. The technical board and all that, they have no idea.
Clueless.
Billionaires does not know how to spend their money. How dumb can we
And
be?
you know, sometimes it's very surprising. It comes from the people that don't actually have it, but it is life.
Yes. Okay,
It
okay.
is life.
So
Everybody is entitled to opinions.
Um, also, I know what you didn't prepare for this, but who are your top three players for Chelsea in this match? Top three players.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I prepared for it. That's one thing. Right now in this Chelsea team, my main guys are Cucurella, um, Caicedo. So these two players, and maybe after the first round of matches, I'll think of who to add. I don't want to add Cole Palmer and Jackson because those are the guys that people are actually looking out for. As for them, the PFA will deal with them for us. But we have to give encouragement to the other guys to know that whatever they are doing, the other departments too, we appreciate. So I'm looking at Colwill, Colwill and Enzo, between Colwill and Enzo, because Enzo for the last few games has really upped his game, getting assists. Even when you think he's not going to get the assist, the kind of performances he put out, my brother, like yeah, it's somebody will say it's an eyesore, and today thankfully he got an assist. So the constant players are going to be Caicedo and Cucurella. Even if something changes, they've impressed me so much this season. So going forward, I think I'll add one other player, and it's going to be either Colwell or Enzo Fernandez.
Okay, so who is the one player in this team that is not replaceable in this particular lineup in Chelsea? Who is not? We cannot replace that player. Who is it?
Right now, it's Moises Caicedo and
You know ball,
Cucurella.
my guy. You know ball. You know ball.
Yes,
We can't
Moises
replace that guy.
Caicedo.
We can't.
Yes, we
Look at
can't.
the tackles that this guy makes. We don't have any
You,
profile
you,
like that in the team.
you saw right after the goal the same tackle that Tosin with his long legs went in and missed. He did the same thing to the same player, and I was telling my friend that look at he showed him how to do the tackle. That's how you make correct tackles.
My goodness.
So yeah,
Because
Cucurella,
people
he's
who are
sorry.
so-called defenders are not able to tackle. And if there is any reason why we cannot win the league this season, it is our
It's
defense.
because of these reasons. Yes, it's because of
Our
these things. Because
defense.
there are a lot of loopholes in our defense. One moment we feel we are on the front foot, and before you know, we let ourselves down by taking our foot off the pedal, and then we let ourselves down, and then there's a goal. They could have scored early on before that particular chance though. You remember when those two players, is it Shadi, the new guy, the guy that has scored two consecutive games, 4 goals in two games. When he came
For
on,
Brentford.
just that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
was a click on like that, and
yeah. His
Mbuemo took,
introduction, he came on and automatically
yes, he just did
our defense
something.
were shivering.
Hit the crossbar. They hit
You
the
are
crossbar.
second,
So
for God's sake. You are second in the league.
yeah,
You should be
yeah.
playing with confidence. This defense and Sanchez, bro, Sanchez again. He
I don't
nearly
want
gave
to
me
talk
heart
about
attack in the first half. He nearly, and it was not
it. I was
something that
yelling.
I was screaming in
I
the
was
house.
I was I was yelling too.
This guy,
And you
and
remember,
how can we win the league with this keeper?
yes, right after he did that, Brentford grew into the game, and their confidence came up, and they started attacking us. That was when they got their shots on target, and we saw Colwill did a very good block over there. If you remember, in the first half,
That block. I
it would
noted
have
it
been a
down.
goal.
Block. That block was
It
so
would have
good.
been a goal. So
We just
yeah,
need someone to help Colwill at the back. We don't have it. That's the problem. We don't have it, and we
I
need
think we have
a
to put
backup for
back.
Caicedo. It's like this team, in my opinion, today I'm making a conversation at fans. It's not about the usual me questioning and all that. We are just having fun. We are Chelsea fans, so it's like the
Yes,
team, the place where we need help. Number one, the goalkeeper, and we actually have it. I don't think
we have for the
Philip
goalkeeping
can be
position.
that bad. I don't think on his feet he can be that
No,
bad. I don't think so. Let's give him the
he's
chance. Okay, so the keeper and then Moises Caicedo, a way of getting a backup because it's like my greatest fear is that if he gets injured, he doesn't get injured, yes, but we just don't know what can happen.
yeah.
Or maybe he's tired. We are trying to maybe play 2 matches in a row and we are trying to find a way of resting him, even though he doesn't rest. It's like this guy.
He's a bull. He's a bull.
Yes, but
He's a
then he's
bull.
a human, He can even get like normal sickness after
Yeah.
outside football. Like Mudrik that we
Yes.
don't hear anything of him. I don't know what's happening to Mudrik. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
That's it. All
Yeah.
of a
I
sudden, he's
didn't
gone.
see him.
Yeah, he's
I
vanished.
was
The guy has
expecting.
just vanished. And they always say it's sickness. It's not really football related. It's not injury. So we forget that they are human beings sometimes. Like they can get cold and all that. So yeah, so these things can happen. So
Yeah.
imagine a situation where Lavia that you can't rely on because his leg he plays 1 week, once a week and all that.
Glass legs,
And
bro.
then you
Glass
have only
legs.
Enzo in the midfield and something happens to Caicedo. How can we win the league with that?
Yeah, that's I think that's one of our major problems. Aside having your first 11, they don't just win you the leagues. The titles. If you have a good backup for each and every position, it helps you. But one good thing about our system is that um we are, like we said in the beginning, we are unpredictable. The coach can always come up with something, and it's going to work. But what if it doesn't work on that day, especially when you don't have this particular person in your team?
Mhm,
You are going to try
mhm.
something new, but what if it doesn't work? How are
Yes.
people going to turn up for that loss or for that mess? You get it. I think if you really if you play football, you know that after you play a game, you feel some heaviness in your feet. That's why it's not easy to even score penalty kicks at the end of 90 minutes or 120 minutes. It's very disadvantageous because you are so worn out, especially if you play the whole 2 hours and then you are called
Extra
upon
time
to.
and everything, then they go to penalty
Yes.
shootout. And it's
Yes,
tough.
it's a lot of work. So just imagine you having matches between 2 or 3 days, and then you have to rest and come back. And there's nobody that's going to take over his position for the meantime that he is away. We had similar situation with Palmer, but the good thing with Palmer is he's not playing the European matches, so he has good rest, and then he can recover enough and then come. But Palmer, I sense that he's getting a little bit of fatigue. He shouldn't be allowed to play beyond 75 minutes. At least when he's done, the coach should let him know that he's going to be subbed at least after 1 hour, so that he knows that once we get the result, he's coming off, and then we'll keep him fresh going forward, so that we don't lose so many players, because that's what's been our battle since Potter's time and what's the name, Pochettino's time. So
Okay.
That
But
is it.
you know one thing I've seen with Enzo Maresca,
Mm,
he's now making Cole Palmer a decoy, not his main plan.
yes.
His main plan now is Enzo. If you
Yeah.
really watch, because today I was like, oh, Madueke is playing perfect. Put Cole Palmer on the right side. He has a good link up with Madueke. No, he
Madueke, yeah.
didn't. He moved him to the left, not even in the
Yeah,
middle.
towards Sanchez.
He put him to the middle. He put him in the middle, and then so they were all coming close to him as usual. Yes, he's a sacrificial lamb for Enzo Maresca because he doesn't want the
Yeah.
team to be on one person's shoulder. He
Reliant on
wants it
him.
to be a
Yes.
team. And so now you could see that the assist and then the goals of Enzo Fernandez is just going up and up because now all the focus is on who?
He's on. Yeah.
On Palmer. And now you look at the assist and the goals that he's getting. So and then now that's one thing that it makes me fear because now the coach has seen that he's like his weapon that in disguise. So which means he's not really a DM for us anymore.
Mm.
He's more or less like an attacking
Yeah.
midfielder for us.
Attacker, yes.
So the DMs that we have are just two in the team now. So it's like
Yeah.
we need players in that department now. We need them a
Yeah.
lot.
We actually do, but it's the experience for me, when you are playing these difficult matches, especially in this season where you have so many matches to play, you can't rely on youngsters, especially when you've not given them that much exposure. Because I was thinking at a point in time you could have introduced the young boys from the other game, but I realized no, this is a very tough match. You can't take
We
that
nearly
risk.
lost this match. We
Yes, you
nearly,
can't take that. Yeah, so
nearly.
in situations like this where you are actually missing them, it's not like they are playing and they are tired. Oh. You are actually missing them. What do you do? How are these young guys going to fare? Of course, we have Kasadai who can also fit in, but like I'm saying, the experience and all of that.
No, you can
He's
put him there.
calm-hearted.
No,
Yeah, we
so-
have Andros Santos, and unfortunately, you can't call him back right now. So what are you
no,
going to do? You have to work around it. So that is our headache. Then when we tell people that we are not fit enough for the title race, they think it's just a facade or we're just making fun of the league. No, we know ourselves. We know when we are ripe and mature to win league. We don't win league with this kind of performances. Yes, we are being consistent. We are getting the points. But there are certain things we have to improve in certain areas. Look at our defense. Just one moment they go off and then they start shouting at each other. Our keeper, our main headache. Like I've decided not to talk about this guy, but somehow you have to talk about him. He always gives opponent that kind of confidence to attack us. Just like when Kepa was in. When Kepa is in Chelsea's post, anybody at all wants to try and shoot. And it will surprise you. They will shoot once, twice, the third time, it will be a dangerous ball. And before you knew it, it will deflect on somebody and then we are down. So we don't want to be in that position where people feel confident because of a loophole or a supposed leak being a keeper or a defender or anybody. You get it?
yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on. So the first goal, Madueke is saying that guys, you guys have been saying I'm selfish, I'm tired of that. So now he's just racking in the assist. When he's supposed to shoot, he doesn't shoot, he will pass. Yes, he's now passing and passing and passing. Now he's a passer. So
Well,
the cross
I
was
still
a very
have
good
my
cross.
doubts.
Look,
I
one thing the
still
Chelsea
I
fans
still
we should know is that Madueke is a backup now for us. He is a backup.
Of course, he's
Yes,
he's
and
he's a
then
backup.
if you have
He's not
a
the main.
backup in Madueke, it's good. It's good, bro. It's
That's what
good.
we're talking about. The competition is always nice when this one is on. They are going to play, so you don't actually miss players that much. I was worried a bit when I saw that we are not going to have options on the bench, but both Sancho and Madueke turned up, taking on players. In the beginning, it was hard for Sancho, but in the second half, his confidence grew thanks to Cucurella making more advanced runs into the opponent's half, and then you could see him just running into inside the box and doing his thing. If they've been very cautious, else they would have given a penalty or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's good to have those options.
Okay, so it was a nice cross, and then with a determined header for Cucurella, his first Premier League goal for Chelsea this season, and was perfect. Okay,
He actually hurt himself in the process.
yes, he did. and that's cuckoo
Yeah,
for you. And then
pumped his
again,
face
as
on
we
the
are
ground.
praising him, he's been perfect and perfect and perfect, just slipping one or two times. He found himself to get a red card at the end of the match.
At the end of the game.
How do you get a red? Look, this Chelsea team, it is of no surprise that we are the youngest team in the league. Like the
Yeah,
naivety is just too much. But I
yeah,
think
the
Enzo
mistakes.
Maresca is just the right coach for these guys. It's like
Because
now
he really understands them.
he's made the team about him. It's not about the players. It's
Yeah,
about him.
yeah,
And if we are look, we can actually win a league with a bad team because maybe everyone is bad. It can happen. You know that
yeah,
it can happen.
yeah. We've done it
That is
before.
why some teams win leagues and they cannot repeat it because their team is not really that good. Because
Yeah,
other
it's not
teams
good.
will,
Yeah,
yeah. So it can happen that we win the league, yes. But the good thing I know about Enzo Maresca is that he is not someone who will be complacent. He's going to
no,
continue to improve the team, and then our owners are ready to spend too. So I think that shouldn't
yeah,
be a problem for us. Okay, so let's move
yeah.
on. And the second goal, even before that, I think in my notes here, let me read to the fans what I wrote. Jackson missed a glorious opportunity with exclamation mark. I was angry. The next thing, Jackson scores.
Yes, right
How did
after
he
it.
miss that
No,
ball, guys? How
yeah,
did he
I
miss
was.
it?
I think since the last game, his confidence has dropped because everything he was trying to do wasn't working. He wasn't clicking. When he tried to shoot or do something, he wasn't getting right. So it got to his head. So he was kind of frustrated. And
He
after
was even
missing that
crying
ball, I
after the
knew
match.
I knew it. His posture was like so wrong. The way he stood to even play that ball
It's
was
like he
there
was not
was
ready
no
for the
pen.
ball.
He was not ready for the ball.
He doesn't believe in
Like,
Sancho. That's the thing. He
yes,
doesn't.
the ball
I
just
think
came to meet him, and then
that's one thing that I fear for the other teams. Look,
mm,
because the team they are still getting to know each other, and then you
yeah,
can see that they are growing and growing and growing. It's not as if they
by
are
the day,
yes. So every single time, so next time he will know that it's Sancho. I should be ready.
yes,
Anything can
he
happen.
can deliver. Yeah,
If it was Palmer in that position, I'm sure he'll be ready and score the goal because
he
he
would have
knows
been
Palmer.
ready to. Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
but you could
yes,
see his demeanor was like he was not ready, and then he just came and he just fumbled it. So I was like,
yes, yes,
in my mind,
yes.
is the old Jackson back? And now he said, no, I'm not back. I'm still
The
the
old
current
Jackson is
Jackson. So let's talk about the
because the
goal.
goal, the
The
goal he
goal.
scored.
I want us to talk about the goal. I want us to start from somewhere. You know where I want us to start from?
Yeah, the
Caicedo, the
pass.
block he made, the
Yeah, the
block
block he
Caicedo
made.
made to take the
Mm,
ball and give it to Enzo.
mm,
It was everything for me because
mm.
we didn't have any right to score that goal. And Jackson in the counter attack is one of the best strikers in the world. I'm telling you, in counter
Yeah,
attack, and that's why we actually bought him because in La Liga, and when he has the chance where he doesn't have to think, he just banks it in. He's one of the best. Even in preseason, Pochettino's time, I don't know if Chelsea fans remember, we were getting those counter attack goals, and he was just banging it in left, right, center.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
He scored a lot of
yes,
them. Yes.
and Enzo Maresca has found a way that this team, even though we possess a lot, we are still a counter-attacking team as well.
Mm,
Pochettino threw away all those counter-attack that he was doing in preseason, and that's why Jackson suffered. And this
yeah,
season, we're having a lot of counter-attacks, and you could see that once Enzo Fernandez put the ball there for him, and I knew that it was 1v1, he was just hitting the target. Just talk through the goal for the fans.
yeah. So, like you said, I think it was the same guy. Was it the Shady guy who was tackled? Who
Mhm.
was I won't say tackled. He was manhandled by Caicedo, and then the ball was released to our new perfectionist Enzo. And Enzo, Enzo in those kind of spaces, he's always going to find you. When he has the ball, he's always thinking for it. That's one thing I like about them. I think prior to the game, I was like the Manchester United game. What I liked very much about it was Ahmed Diallo going for it. So seeing that we have somebody like that in Enzo Fernandez, I was so happy because when you have forward-thinking players, it just take a split second for them to take every other player out of the game. All the players that were attacking Chelsea's goal were all left out when that tackle was made and the pass was played. It was a good tackle, but for the pass to have gotten to um, Jackson, it wouldn't have meant anything. So the build up from the tackle to Enzo Fernandez playing the ball outside of the player. Not in this one wasn't inside. This was outside of the player, and then Jackson also going around him, getting the where he shot from the angle. Everybody would have thought, oh, he's going for the far post, but no, he stayed to the first post, and it's not easy to score, especially at the first post when the keeper is already grounded over there. So it was a very wonderful. This is one of the best goals he has scored, aside the one against West Ham. So I think if he should choose, this is going to be among the top three. So it was a very good goal.
Yeah, he's good. I'm very, very happy for him. So, do you think he can hit the 20 goal mark in the Premier League?
In
Do
the
you think he
Premier
can?
League for Jackson right now, I think it's too
Yeah.
early because he's not somebody that's like so hungry. When he gets the one goal, I think he feels it's enough. I don't know, some way, somehow. He looks like he wants to score, but when he tries, the end product is not really there. So for Jackson to hit 20 goals in a season, unless maybe when we going forward we see that he's going to score in 2 or 3 games. Let's say he scores this match, the next game he goes off. Then in the next game he shows up. When he's giving us that kind of vibe, he's scoring at least
Mhm.
within 2 goals intervals or 1 goal intervals. Then you are sure that he's going to, because if he scores like this and he reaches like 15 or 16, 17 goals, when we have penalties and there's no pressure on us to win the game, we have like a handicap scoreline like 3-0 or 4-0. I'm sure Palmer is going to hand him the ball to also kick from the spot if you have a penalty. So this is how you help yourself for people to help you. You get it. So it depends on him. We want him to be that striker who can score 20 goals, 18, 23, 25 goals in a season, but it's up to him. We are creating the chance. He could have scored 2 today, but just look at this. He
Mhm.
just got one.
But he has
And
nine
you just,
already, bro. He has
yes,
nine.
but
He can
people,
do it.
somebody can use just a game or two to surpass you.
No,
You
it's
know,
not about he being the top. Just 20 goals
the
the whole
top.
season. It's not about he being top scorer. Just getting
Like
20
I'm
goals.
saying, personally, he has improved. Looking at his game from last season and this season, his positioning, how he takes on players, how he drives, and even his shooting, like the finesse touches arriving for for
Mm-hmm.
for Jackson. So we want him to be there, but it's up to him whether he's ready to be there. Because we are always going to give you the chances. You have creators in Palmer. From the left, you have Madueke or Sancho. Whether it's them or it's Neto or Mudrik playing, you have people supplying with the balls. And behind you, you have Disasi, you have Enzo, you have Caicedo who can play those through balls to you. But are you ready to finish them? He's getting the supplies from almost every angle.
But he
You
can.
get
I
it?
think he can this season. I think he can. Because he in
We
15 appearances, he has nine. So and how many
yes.
matches do we have for the Premier League? I think he can if
So
he
let's say
continues
in
this way.
the
He doesn't have to change. Just maintain
he
his
went
and he
off.
can do it.
Yes, he went off for like I think 2 or 3 games and then bounced
Yeah.
back. That is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If you bounce back like this, you have to put at the back of your mind that I want to make up for the game that I didn't score, and that's how you arrive fast. Because when we start playing the second leg, people are going to come at you hard. People will try to avoid relegation. People will try to get Champions League, European sports. Those who feel they can win the title race are also not going to allow you. So then, how do you come up against these guys?
Okay. So just to put some context to it, we have Everton next. We have Fulham, Ipswich. We have Crystal Palace. Bournemouth,
Again, okay, that's
Wolves.
like
Like look at these matches. Like I
we
think
are supposed to win.
Everton will be tough. I know that coach, that
Yeah, sure,
mafia
that
coach,
is going. But there's
my
one
guy.
good thing about Chelsea right now. There's one good thing about Chelsea right now. Even when you try to sit deep, we
You
know
find
how
a
to
way.
work around.
You find a way.
Yeah,
You always find a way.
it's it's
Okay.
it's it's usually on our wingers. If they are able to drive into the penalty area and dribble more, definitely you get somebody to commit himself, and rise after there's penalty, they're just gonna open up and then come at you, and that's where you also pounce back.
Okay. So who are we blaming for the goal that Mbuemo scored?
For Oh, it's Tosin. That challenge shouldn't have gone in the first place. Well, I also understand it because he's not that pacey to have gone shoulder to shoulder with him, right? And he didn't want to end up in the box and then foul him there. But that guy is sharp. I was telling my friend, this guy is supposed to be a pastor. He looks like a pastor. He's not a footballer. How do you allow this guy to score?
Do you know the goals he has in the league? 10 goals, 10 Premier League goals
10
this
goals in the
season.
league. It's amazing. That's why I didn't want him to even be closer to our goal because he's dangerous. He and Wissa, I don't know what they do behind the scenes, but they are sort of the underrated guys. People were talking
Yes,
about Oli Watkins and all of those guys. Even Strand Larsen is underrated. Every ball you give him, my brother, even if it's not a chance, once he meets a cross, if he's not getting his goal, at least there should be a corner. These are guys that the media should be talking about. But of course, it's England. So
the Africans,
so as for the good, yeah, it's Tosin. He
Okay.
shouldn't have gone in for that. That challenge, if you go in, it's either you get the ball or you get the man. Red card, you are gone. Then free kick. We know that we are defending against it. But imagine if it were just 1-0. You've let us down. We a
Mm-hmm.
game we are supposed to
Mm-hmm.
win. You've made us draw.
But for
So
some
that's
reason, we
why
are not
it's,
able to score many goals at the bridge. What's that problem there? Is it because I don't get it? Like away, we are like
for
if we were playing this game at Brentford's home, I'm telling you, you whip them like
would
six
have
goals or
gotten
something.
more goals.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
strange. I don't know what's happening. Is it
You
because
know,
we initially in our in my mind initially in our glorious days we always made sure the grounds is not a grounds where you can score many goals. You can't score as
you can
many
score
goals,
many goals.
so we can defend there and all that. So it's like defending in Stamford Bridge is easy. Like for some, I don't know why, but it's tough.
It's like that. Everybody wants to protect their home. Like even in the physical world, everybody wants to protect their home. If you are coming to my home to attack me, I'm definitely going to protect it. So there's that notion. So it makes you defensively conscious of what you are doing, and also impedes your attacking prowess because you feel like I can't let these guys get behind me. And before that match, they've won at the bridge for like 2 or 3 seasons, like 2 or 3 times. Their last 2 or 3 visits, they'd won at the bridge. So the coach wanted to stop that streak, get a win. So it was a lot of things like combined and adding up to our form at Stamford Bridge previously last year, the previous year under Potter, Salter, Lampard, it wasn't so good because people were just coming to the bridge, racking up goals. You'll be losing to certain things that you think we are. It's not what you think we are not supposed to be losing to. So that particular thing has haunted us. And coming into this game, knowing the kind of threat these guys possess, we couldn't have allowed them in a post that match. So it could be, but going forward, like we are improving day by day. Sometimes it's important to get a 2-1 or 2-0 win at Bridge and get more goals away than to lose. Of course, if you get more goals, that's fine. But to lose at Stamford Bridge, please let's lose away. I like it better.
Okay, so now it's clear that year on year Chelsea has improved because every team that battered us or won against us, we are winning now.
Yeah, we are
It's
winning
clear
against them.
year on year or season on season, we are clearly improving. If we are not saying we are winning the league, but if they slack,
Like I'm saying, if they slack and we
ah,
fall on the first position and we're able to give a gap of like say 3 points, bro, they should forget it.
should
Like
I
I'm
should I
saying
give
on
you an
record.
interesting point?
Yeah.
Do you know that before Liverpool plays their next match, we would have played Everton already?
So that gives an advantage to go on top with 1 point, right?
Yes, so before they play Tottenham, we will be one. If we win, we will be 1 point ahead of them.
No, if we win, we are going to win. That's for sure. And I don't trust Tottenham to beat those guys, but
No,
with their
Tottenham
five
can do
zero,
anything.
they
They can
can
do
do anything.
anything.
With their
Look
five
at that.
zero,
Look
five
at what
zero.
happened to us. Do you know we nearly lost that match? You forgot. We nearly lost
I
that
know,
match.
but
Yes,
like
anything
I'm
could have
saying,
happened.
for some reason, I don't see Tottenham to be that force that can, stop big teams. Yes, they did it against City, but In certain games where you think they are supposed to turn up. And Liverpool right now, they are like wounded because they've drawn certain games they are not supposed to draw. So when you allow them, and the high line too, they can beat the high line. It depends if they really turn up, like they turned up against us.
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
get it?
saying. You just can't predict them. And I'm hoping that
Will they
the
win? That's for that one there.
not just they winning, but the pressure that will be on Liverpool when they go into that match. Because they have to win.
Of
Because
course,
if
there's
we
there's there's
win,
pressure on them.
by that time we will be like first, which we didn't even expect to be. And do you know the funny part too? Chelsea will be playing the teams that have disturbed the people who are behind it, above and below us. We are playing
Mm,
Everton, who disturbed Arsenal. And if we
mm,
win, it will show to the teams that because coaches analyze matches better than we fans. Because if you're able to beat
yes.
Everton, who Arsenal couldn't beat, and then go
Mm,
ahead, our next match will be Fulham, whom
yeah,
the two teams couldn't beat. If we somehow win against them, the scare that will grip the two teams will be massive. And
of
then the good
course.
thing for Enzo Maresca is that if he doesn't win a league, nothing will happen to him.
No, for I want to state emphatically, I was not at the board meeting at the beginning of the season, but he was told that he should give Chelsea a decent position on the
That is all.
table. So just go above, sit. You are okay, my brother. And the guy has taken the job too personal, and he's already second,
We don't like the
pushing up
hope.
into
We don't like
first.
the hope. We don't like the
So
hope.
he's I sometimes I feel sorry for the man because you've been asked to do a simple job, but you've taken it and
Too personal. He
you
wants
know
to prove that
if if
he's a better student from Pep than Ateta.
if if you manage to fall on second and the season ends, bro, you just opening up media what oh Chelsea is there. They were second last season, so this season we expect them to grab
To
the
win the
title.
league.
It's gonna a little bit
By
of
that
pressure
time,
on you. You don't want
by that
that.
time,
Come back to third and fourth.
Man City has spent 500 million pounds. They've bought 11 players because Pep said it that to win the league now, they have to do what Chelsea did. They have two players in every position. So now,
And it's
by the time the season ends, if we don't somehow maybe win the league by mistake or something, Pep is going to have another 11 players to come and back the 11 that the 40 that he has
it's
already. And we will be
it's
dead. I'm
funny
telling you.
it's funny how they criticize everything Chelsea does,
Mm-hmm.
but behind the scenes, every other team is copying Chelsea. They wonder
Yes.
how we're able to sell our players to balance our books when we've
Mm-hmm.
done so much, like humongous purchases from these keepers and players, Caicedo, Enzo. They are not even a small amount, or in the space of like one year or 6 months, and then we still find a way to sell almost everybody in our team to get a fresh team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when FFP came calling, we broke even. They were like, "How, Chelsea? How did you do it?" People are expecting Chelsea to be in the position that Man City are in right now, and there's a reason why Chelsea supported them. Like Chelsea went to support them at the court hearing. You get it? So we are Chelsea, like I'm saying, we always set the trend, we set the pace, we let people follow what we do. You talk about us before you try to leap into our shoe, would have also gone a step ahead of you. And before you realize, because right now Pep is even talking about his own student. Just imagine.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So okay.
So
So before we waste much time, Amorimbo, for some reason, the fans are saying that Amorimbo is back now. It's in full flight. They just battered a wounded lion, and they are
yeah.
pretending like their team is. Because I watched the match, I didn't see how they were going to win, and within a space of 2 minutes, everything just turned around, and they
Yeah.
somehow won the match. Do you
We
think? Do you think Amorim
mhm.
Ball? Do you see anything special with Amorim Ball? Do you think if,
Well,
even
if
though at
if
the end of
if
the day they move from 13th to 13th, but then do you think After a fine
Oh,
win, they leaped from 13th to 13th. But then,
for my friends in Manchester United, especially Michael. I heard he went
yeah,
to Birmingham. I know right now he's back. He will
yeah,
definitely watch. He will
you
hear
watch,
this.
you watch.
I feel very excited and happy for him because he was
Mhm.
on the neck of Ten Hag to leave.
Yes, yes,
And I think when you are in a team and you are so much into it, you know what works and what doesn't work. If you know something is right for you, you know. He was calling the guys. He was on the guy's neck to leave, and eventually his plea was heard. And now you have Amorim coming in. Well, if you ask me, we can only judge Amorim based on what he's done with Lisbon, right? He's improved the team, improved a lot of players, and then even prior to coming here, he scored Pep Guardiola to 4-1. So it's not really surprising for Manchester City to have lost the game. But if you watch the game, you know City was in control of the game. How they came about winning that game. I think he himself said it has nothing to do with his ball. It was just a player who was brilliant in that space of I think 4 or 5 minutes, and it's Amad Diallo. I will not stop talking about that guy. We are sleeping on him, and I think the African media has to push that guy if the English guys are not ready to push him on.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
done so
yeah,
well.
yeah. Because
Anybody in that position
when I
for
saw
the
that
penalty,
the coach was playing him in the wing back position, I was pissed.
mm,
Michael was like, the tactically, and I'm no, 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 no. He's the best player to play behind the
for
strikers.
attack, yeah.
Yeah, in the attacking midfield position with his left foot, he's just the right player there. It's like his position.
In
It is built for him.
in tight
Tight
spaces too, he
spaces and all
works
that.
perfectly well. Some two take-ons he did. The players were very close to him. They threw their leg, and he found a way to just walk past them with the ball. This is somebody you need when you want to win matches. And he clearly did that. The second goal he scored, superb. After that lob over the keeper, and then he not even watching where the goalpost was, just play the ball, slot it in, bro. What a talent. We are sleeping on this guy.
Okay, okay.
Marcus
So
Rashford must be
so
shaking.
Amorim boy is officially back. And
Oh,
then
we
by the
like it.
end of the season, hopefully they'll end up at 12 so that they improve.
Of course. Manchester
From 12
United, they know
you know, 13 to
they
12
are
or
making
maybe
good.
from 13 to let's say 10th, Because the table is divided to two. The first, the top
And then
10 people and then the last 10.
North,
So
North
maybe
and South.
so the
Like
South
Premier League.
guys, yes. So Premier League B and Premier League A. So Premier League B, maybe at the end of the day, they can be first, so they'll be 10th. And then, I'm sure Michael will kill us in the comment, but
Boga should watch this. Benjamin Saki, come and watch.
okay, okay. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once two Chelsea fans we meet, all my biases will be here, and I'm not a host anymore. We just have fun at Chelsea fans, and Chelsea fans from Ghana or Africa, definitely our rivals are Manchester. So we always, even when we are winning, we want them to lose. So it's today they won for us, so it helps. It helped us. Now we are 7 points ahead of Man City.
We are
Seven
waiting for
points.
Tottenham. Fred, win
Yes.
for us.
So it is good. Thanks so much for watching. It's always a pleasure to always come to you guys. See you the same time next week. Bye bye.
Peace out.
You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 Podcast. This is the podcast for the Chelsea versus Brentford. Chelsea versus Brentford. That just ended 2-1 in favor.